So, welcome back to Sona Says. Today we have Lindsay Hollinger on, co-founder of Powership Collective and Granite Family Office on today. And I'll let you give the audience a little intro, but we're going to be talking about something very
Important?
important
Yeah, essential.
and essential. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lauren, thank you for having me. This is very exciting. I am thrilled to be here and have this conversation with you because I will, in my personal capacity, give you lots of ideas, although none of it's advice. And I am curious to hear your ideas as well because what I'm learning is that you are further along than I think many women, and especially girls your age, in the area of financial literacy, which is so incredibly important to living a meaningful life and a happy life. And the earlier you start, the better. So, as you said, I founded a multifamily office firm, but my career actually started as a tax lawyer. So I am like nerdy person who studied philosophy and then law. I did a master's in tax law. I worked as a tax lawyer. I loved tax law. But being a lawyer, I soon figured out is a tough game because you're worth the number of hours you can sit at your desk.
Right.
And I had the opportunity to switch careers about like 5, 6 years into my career from working out at the gym early in the morning.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So,
So I met this woman at the gym, and she was in investments, and she basically said, I know what you do for a living. I see the way you are, and I think the rest you could learn. Our firm is looking for like fresh blood. Would you have coffee with me? And I was so intrigued, very flattered. It's like, of course, sure, let's chat. So I fast forward, ended up being introduced to the president of her firm and getting along really well with him. And they basically hired me. They offered me a job. I knew nothing about finance at the time.
really?
Yes.
Well,
and
you
I
did.
was pregnant.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, that's like an anomaly.
I know. I know. But what it taught me was to take risks, calculated
Yes.
risks, to get out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
And once I started doing that, it was like couldn't stop.
Wow.
So here I am today, like pretty different, I think, than I was then, which was like following more of a linear path. And now I find I have more of like an inner voice that I have the opportunity to listen to. And part of what I've uncovered is just the incredible beauty and enjoyment of helping people financially. And because I'm in this awesome position, I love giving back and helping women, especially, learn more about financial literacy and investing. So, to make the long story short, I worked at this investment firm, which was acquired by a bank. At the time, I had an incredible mentor who was the president of the firm. And we decided together to launch a new firm, which is a multifamily office firm, which helps wealthier families and individuals with their full financial lives. So that lets me use my financial background in tax law as well, and help people like with any question. Because at the end of the day, doing well financially isn't just investing. And in working in investments, I figured out that people hate talking about money. They know so little about it. And so part of the value that I find that I can add is just normalizing the conversation. So this opportunity is phenomenal. And in teaching financial literacy, which I now do pretty often, and I lecture, I teach investing, I realize that the conversation needs to be much broader than that. Because you can't just sit down and start getting comfortable with investing if you're not comfortable with money at all, and you don't even know like what your financial picture is. You don't know what you have. So I am thrilled to be able to have this conversation with you and to bring it to people younger.
Yes, we are so happy to have you. Our whole Sona community is definitely going to gain a lot from this conversation. And I mean, you have so much great experience and you've done the whole trajectory, and I feel like you've definitely like learned to trust yourself to make calculated risks.
Yes.
And that's kind of ultimately like what we hope everyone trusts themselves with money and knowing that like they're confident enough to make decisions and all that. So
yeah, and the great thing is that money impacts everything in our lives, right? Money is power.
It is.
And I used to think people, like now I hear people saying that more often, which is great.
Yes.
Because I used to look at the world and just be in awe of how we defer to wealth,
Yeah.
right? And you can look at larger scale or a smaller scale, but in our own lives, in small and big ways, money will impact everything, for better and worse.
Yeah. That's very true. So shall we just dive in?
Yes,
Let's
do it.
dive in. So we took notes. I usually don't have notes because I'm usually talking about, I don't know, dating and silly stuff. But this is very important. And yeah, so basically we're going to go through what primarily women
Yeah.
may not know and what they should know. So if you're listening at home, like literally get a pen and pencil,
Yes.
pull out your notes app,
Yes.
and like write this down because this is like a very valuable
Yeah, there's going to be lots
40-minute
of
crash
hopefully
course.
practical tips
Yes.
in here. And I do want to also start by saying there are basics that apply to everyone.
Yes.
And at the same time, money is quite personal. So whether you are investing or thinking about money on your own or with someone, either someone you trust in your life or a professional, know that asking yourself hard questions is really the starting point, and there are no answers that apply. There are no solutions for everyone.
Yes, very important.
Yeah.
And well said.
Thank you.
So take all of this, not with a grain of salt, but think about your personal situation and then we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's start with this.
Okay.
Everyone has a credit card.
Yes.
Everyone has a bank card. Everyone
Yes.
has a bank account. Okay? We know that.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So let's start there. Let's assume that everyone, or is getting a credit card. How important is it to pay your credit card bill every month before it's due?
Lauren, when I saw that this question was on your list, I was so excited
Yeah.
because I think I actually haven't talked a lot about credit.
Yeah.
And I plan to
Okay.
because I think that people do not realize that they have a credit score, that credit scores exist, and that if you are not practicing using credit in your life, you're not building your credit score, right? And there's a lot of ideas that people have about credit that are wrong. So how do you build good credit? First of all, you need to use it. You need to have a credit card.
Right.
There are many women, not at your age, but
Yeah.
later on, who may use a credit card in someone else's name.
That's true.
And then one day if circumstances arise that force them to get their own credit card, they might realize that they're starting from zero. So number one, have a credit card. You could have multiple credit cards. And but don't use them too much.
Yeah.
So first of all, always pay your balance on time. That's so important. Sometimes people think that having an outstanding balance builds credit.
No.
Opposite, right? No. So always pay your credit card on time, also because interest rates on credit cards are very high. Also, what builds your credit is having more credit and using a smaller proportion of it. So it's a good idea to try to increase your credit throughout your life. And having a high income doesn't automatically give you high credit.
No. So let's say you start off with like your first credit card and the limit's like $3,000, $5,000, somewhere around there. Like if you need to, whatever.
Yeah, if you need to use credit,
Good,
credit
but
is
pay
not
it.
bad.
But so
Right?
to your point is like if you like always keep it in that like 1,000 range and your credit limit's 5,000, like that's good.
That's great.
That shows the bank that like you're responsible. You have this $5,000, but you're not actually using it.
Exactly. What you're trying to do is prove to the banks and the world
Yeah.
that you're a trustworthy
Right.
borrower,
Right.
right? You're
Yeah.
not gonna overuse it. You actually don't need the whole amount, and you're gonna pay it on time.
Yeah. And then your point of like sometimes like the bank will send an email being like, "Hey, you're pre-approved for an increase.
Take it."
Take it." You see,
Yes.
I didn't know, like I knew that, but I learned that later. I thought it was like, "Oh, I shouldn't."
Yeah,
But no, take it.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you can look at your credit score. Sometimes people think that checking it makes it go down.
No.
Not
Like
true.
a soft check.
Exactly. You're so good.
So like if you're like with TD or BMO, like on the app, there's actually like click a
click.
button
Yeah.
and it'll tell you your credit score.
Yeah.
So step one, if you have credit, check your credit score, not for it to be a scary thing, but just to be aware.
Yeah, and always keep in mind throughout this entire conversation, it is It's a journey.
That's it.
We are always just trying to do better.
Yeah.
We have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
The sooner we start, the better.
Yep.
And every single person is on a path, and it will evolve, and we don't know what life will bring, which is why we need to be as prepared and knowledgeable as possible.
Yep. Okay, good. So we covered a lot there for credit.
Yes, I think that's so useful.
Yes. And then, all right.
The only thing I'll add before we even go on
Yeah.
is I just want to make sure everyone knows that a bank account and an investment account are not the same thing.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
It sounds basic, but truly not everybody realizes. And a bank account is something that you get at the bank. You
Right.
can also get investment accounts at the bank or online
Yep.
through the bank. But a bank account will allow you to only have a limited number of things in it. And an investment account has a much wider range. Whenever I teach investing, I always start by saying there's a big difference between putting money under your mattress, putting it in a bank account or savings account at the bank, and investing it. They don't have the same result, and investing it is really what we're aiming to do.
Yes. Yes.
But there's a lot more to say about that.
Yeah.
Just
So in
as-
your bank account, you want to have, you're paying your credit card though with the money from your bank account.
Yes, you are.
Ideally. So you always want to have
Enough money.
enough.
Yes.
And get familiar with like, okay, how much do I actually spend in a month? How much do I need versus how much can I afford to start investing?
Yes. 4 things you need to know. What do you have? What do you owe? Like, is there an outstanding amount you're paying interest on or that you have to pay back? How much is coming in regularly and how much you're spending regularly? Those are 4 key financial pieces of data that I think everyone should work towards understanding.
Yeah.
Or just knowing.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be
almost-
stressful.
It's not. This
No.
is nothing stressful. Like if you don't know around like a ballpark,
Yes.
just figure it out.
And you know what's
Girl
most
math.
stressful? Yeah. That's like all other things.
Sorry.
No.
Is that bad?
No, I don't know. Is
Oh,
it?
I don't know.
It's okay. If this constitutes girl math, I'm all for it.
I'm like gonna open my calculator app to see because sometimes it shows like 7 plus 3. I'm like, I just need to be sure.
That's okay.
It's fine.
That's okay. Totally fine.
No, that was an easy one. But like
Yeah.
6 plus 7. I'm like, whoa.
I practice this a lot with my kids. So I'm like, I've gotten quicker again, you know?
Yeah.
But yes, what we were saying was nothing is stressful.
No.
Avoiding it is more stressful. A lot of people have the tendency to avoid thinking or talking or looking.
Yes.
And that's a quasi okay strategy as long as you're already set up,
That's it.
right? But avoiding it completely will cause you more stress 100%.
Yep. Okay. And just know that a lot of people do avoid it. So actually going in and like taking the time
Yeah.
is like a very big step. Like that is the biggest step in your financial journey.
Knowing is the biggest step.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's number 1.
Number 1.
Okay.
Look. No.
All right. So, okay, quickly, like
Yeah.
we'll talk about this more in detail, but like saving versus investing, like let's assume we're starting from 0, no debt, you have some money coming in and you're able to take some of that to invest or save.
So, an emergency fund is a really useful thing to have. Everyone should have an emergency fund because truly, we don't know what's going to happen in life.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it does. And there's so many versions of it. So, the best thing you can do is not have to go into debt on top of having to face whatever it is thing that you don't expect to happen when it does. So, having an emergency fund is not something that should be like invested in a risky way per se. It should be something that you just know you have. Whether you keep it in your savings account or in a really safe way, maybe in an investment account. This is not advice. But having an amount that you've saved up that covers a bunch of months is a great starting point. Very important. Beyond that, having an idea, again, of what you're spending and so what amount of like working capital, about what money you need to have available for your expenses, that stays in the bank. That can stay in a savings account because what you're giving up when you leave money in your bank account is earning on it. It's the compounding, awesome, powerful effect of investing, which I love talking about because it's so phenomenal. Like once you start and once you
I
can
know.
feel it, it's super powerful. The money just like works for you and grows.
There's yeah, I'm like I'm blank. I wish I like had the actual numbers written down, but like I remember seeing like starting to invest X amount of dollars at 25 versus starting to invest that same amount of dollars at 35.
Yes.
Like by the time you're 60 is like an insane difference,
I'm
like
gonna give an example
millions.
and check it and
Yes.
don't quote
I'm
it
like,
because I literally looked it up this morning. I was like, could I give an example? But so this may or may not work exactly
I
well.
actually have it somewhere on my computer saved. I'll
Yes.
fact check it
Yeah.
and I will like post
Yes.
it. I'll do like a
So I'll
visual
describe
clip.
it,
Yeah.
check it,
Yeah.
take it out if it doesn't work. But let's say you were not to spend $8 a day on a coffee, like whatever, not to demonize coffees, but let's say you weren't spending $8 on something which doesn't seem like a big deal every day. At the end of the month, that's $240. Okay. If you start, I think the example was at 22 years old
Yep.
versus 32 years old, and you are saving just $8 a day and it's earning 8%. Because over the course of the history of time, the American stock markets, the S&P 500, has returned 8 to 10%. So let's say 8%. If you do that until you're 65 years old, I think if you start at 22, you'll end up with 900,000, like almost $1 million.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start at 32, you get half as much. 10 years, we often think of the rule of thumb, and it's really just a rule of thumb, is that you take 72, you divide it by your return, and the
Yeah.
result is the number of years it takes your money to double. So easy math.
Like 7.
If you have 7%,
Yeah.
your money doubles every 10 years.
Yeah.
So think of how many decades you have. You have an amount that's invested. You don't have to touch it.
It just
That's not even,
in 10 years.
that's not even considering adding.
Yeah.
That's just, and doubling is so powerful. Because when you think like, I mean, I often speak in millions. I invest like,
Yes.
But 1 to 2, right, is, let's say we're talking millions.
Yes.
Let's say we're talking 100,000s.
Whatever
Even
it could-
1
yeah.
to 2 is something. 2 to 4, right, is like the bigger. 4 to 8, that's life changing,
Yes.
right? Like 4 million to 8 million, life changing.
Yes.
You have another 10 years, 16. I mean,
It's like, whoa.
whoa.
Well, what are you going to do with all that? Invest it.
Just not have
Keep
drank that
investing it.
coffee every day. Yeah, yeah.
Then you
Keep
can start having
investing.
coffees every day.
And then you have like the world at your disposal.
You can have 3 coffees a day.
Exactly.
Okay. So
Exactly.
that was a very good explanation of how powerful investing is and how important it is and how easy it could be with the $8 a day.
And how important it is to start today.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you can. I mean, everyone who's more around my age wishes they started earlier.
Yes.
The best thing you can do is start today, tomorrow, and with as little as you can save
Yeah.
to invest. Some people think they don't have enough to bother.
Yeah. I think you need like a couple $100 to
Yeah.
open up an account.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's really like, so how? How do we invest?
How do you invest?
How do we invest?
So usually the way you invest is taking an amount from your bank account
Yep.
and putting it into an investment account.
'Kay.
And the best thing you could do is if you're earning money, figure out what's an amount you won't miss. Like you won't even know the difference whether it goes into you ever see it or not. That could be an automatic contribution to your investment account.
Yep.
You don't even see it going in. And so you can't spend it. It doesn't take any mental energy even.
You just set it up.
You
the
set it
auto
up.
deposit
Auto deposit.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then it goes right into your investment account. It could be put to work
Yeah.
pretty immediately.
Yeah.
And then it's just growing.
Yeah. So you go to the bank and you can go to the bank and open an account.
Mm-hmm.
You can there's Wealth
There's
like just
Wealthsimple,
an
which is
example, which is great.
Great.
Yeah.
And it actually has a function where it can auto invest for you.
Yeah.
So like I'm a professional in the space, but if you don't have access to a professional at fees that make sense, because that's an important piece
Yes.
of this, then doing it through some kind of robo-advisor or online situation can be very, very straightforward and work extremely well.
Without like an advisor, like I feel like a lot of people can do it on their own. I am not a financial advisor at all. This is not like real. It is very
Yeah.
good financial advice, but like
It's just like, look into it,
Look
get
into it.
curious.
Okay.
Sometimes what I do with my kids is I literally open the stocks app that you have on your phone. Everyone
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah.
And you can type in a basic ETF.
Yes.
Or to get into it, like a stock that you're familiar with, just to see, like, what is this? What are we talking
Yeah.
about? And you'll see a chart, a line, hopefully it goes up.
Yeah.
But that's what we want money to do.
It's to go up.
Yeah.
Everything's going up.
Yeah.
So an ETF
Yes.
is a collection of a bunch of stocks, bonds, just different investment vehicles.
Yes. So I'll dive right in
Yeah.
to say that this is not advice. And we're getting more, like, you're quite advanced, which I love. But
Yeah.
we're going to get, this is like
Okay, let's
into the investing, which
Yeah.
is fine, I
Okay.
think. Which is to say that you want to be diversified when you invest. Diversified means that you're not only investing in one thing, you're investing, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. ETFs were created like not that long ago, I think in the 90s.
Okay.
Mutual funds, which was kind of the old
The
alternative.
dated version of
Yes,
an ETF. Okay.
exactly. Made it much harder, but ETFs kind of democratized access to investing in a very diversified way, because what it is an exchange traded fund. That's what ETF stands for. And you can buy and sell it on the stock market. And it's usually not very high fee, especially if you're investing in a passive version. So what does passive mean? It basically means you're just buying an index. What is an index? An index is a representation of a stock market. So you can buy the entire US S&P 500 in a basic ETF. You're getting all the 500 stocks that are in there
Yeah.
at a low fee. And all the stocks are going to go up or do things over time. And you just have exposure to all that growth.
It's just an extremely diversified
Yes.
version. And like you don't have to be checking and making sure these
You don't have to
different
trade
companies
it
are
or
doing well.
follow or-
What's going on here? Is it going to crash? Like, no.
Yeah,
It's
and
simple.
even as long as, I mean, one of the basic pieces of advice for investing, although this is not advice.
Count how many times we say that.
I love it.
Take a
I have
shot.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Is that you want to be able to leave the money that you're investing there for the long term. So we don't, like, people get very worried or scared. Like, they feel like being in the stock market is high risk or could be gambling even. When you're investing in the entire market, in a well-diversified passive, for example, ETF, it is not something, like you said, that you really need to worry about, even when the headlines are scary.
Yep.
You need to know that this is, like, we're doing this for retirement,
Yep.
for a big purchase, but down the line,
the line.
maybe,
Yeah.
for something that you can't foresee now that you might need it for, but ideally for, like, the very, very long
Yeah.
term.
And like the years go by very quickly. So
Yeah.
it's like might as well just start now.
Yeah.
And you won't even like
No, you won't
Yeah,
even
you
feel
won't know.
it necessarily.
you won't.
And it's super exciting.
uh-huh. Okay, do we want to talk about like different accounts
Yes.
that are like great for Canadians
Yes.
specifically?
Yes.
So we have TFSA, tax-free savings account,
Yeah.
FHSA, first time homeowner,
So
something.
I'll take one step back
Yeah.
and say there's basically two categories of
Okay.
accounts, registered and non-registered.
Yes.
So registered exists because the government has decided that they're going to help people invest.
Yep.
So they've created incentivized accounts that have different perks that we kind of need to know the basics of so that we're doing it properly. And in general, although I'm happy to get into the specifics, but in general, it allows you to save and invest in a tax-deferred or tax-free way, which means that it'll just go faster and be more efficient
Yes.
and grow bigger
Yes.
more quickly. So, and then the other kinds are taxable, which again are taxed in an interesting way compared to salary or
Right.
regular income, but you do pay tax
Yes.
depending on what it is, but along
Yeah.
the way.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get into the registered accounts.
So yes, and
'Kay.
and I think
Yeah.
advice for me, not that I can give advice, but is if you're gonna invest, start investing in these registered accounts because, like Lindsay said, it's the government
Yes.
made them so that, like, to help us invest.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
You would go to your registered accounts first,
Yes.
and then when you've kind of maximized all the benefits of your registered accounts, and you have excess, then you start your non-registered accounts.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So the basic registered accounts are TFSA,
Yes.
tax-free savings account, FHSA, which is new,
Yes.
first home savings account,
Yes.
and RSP, registered retirement savings plan.
Yes.
Those are the key ones. There's also RESP for people who have children, but
Right.
we don't have to get into that
Okay.
today.
No, not today.
So, tax-free savings account has existed, I don't remember the year, 2000, early 2000s, and you can start investing in it as long as you're 18 years old. And there's a prescribed amount that you can put in it every year. Check what that is.
Yeah.
It's been 7,000 around for the last few, but it's changed over time.
Yeah.
And if you miss years, the room accumulates.
Yeah. So
you
if
can
you're
always
like,
catch up.
if you're 20 and you have two
Years of
years of contribution, so you have like close to 14,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just okay.
Yeah, and then you could put it in. The thing to know about the tax-free savings account is it grows tax-free, and when you take it out, it's tax-free.
Yep.
But you're putting in after-tax dollars.
Right.
So you earn your money, you pay your tax, and then you have left in your bank account, and that's what can go in there. You can make an automatic contribution, just be aware that you're not over-contributing.
Right.
Because you can get penalties, and that's not
Yeah.
fun.
You want to make sure it's like you don't go
Done
above
properly.
the 7,000 if that's what the number is.
Exactly. And you can take it out anytime.
Yeah.
You just can't put it back in until the year after.
Yes.
So then I'll go to RSP and then come back to
Okay.
FHSA.
Yeah.
So RSP was created a while ago, like way before TFSA, and it's to help people save for retirement. And the idea of an RSP is it's very beneficial to contribute when you have a high salary because it gives you a tax deduction. So whatever your taxable income is for that year, you make your RSP contribution, it reduces your taxable income, so you're paying less tax. So you make it a refund,
Yep.
actually. And it stays in that account until you're 71, like December of the year you turn 71, it turns into a RIF where you have to start taking it out. But the idea is that it grows tax-free that entire time, and then it's full income. So whereas a tax-free savings account, always tax-free, you take it out tax-free, RSP will be fully taxed when you take it out. But it gets the benefit of growing tax-free.
And you can like defer, like you can.
You're deferring your tax for a long time,
Yes.
which means the compounding is more effective.
Yeah.
FHSA.
Okay.
So FHSA was created to help young people buy their first home because it's so expensive now.
It is.
And so I think it's it's a very useful measure, and it gives you the best of both worlds. So it takes the benefits of a TFSA and the benefits of an RSP, and it combines them together such that you're getting a tax deduction when you contribute,
Yep.
and it's tax-free forever. So it's tax-free when you take it out to buy your first home. As long
And
as you buy it you use it for
Right. You have to buy it
that.
for home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also is a prescribed amount that you can
I think
contribute
it's like
every year.
8,000.
Yeah, with
for
a
4 years,
maximum
5 years?
lifetime of 40,000, I think.
Yeah. So 5 years.
Then you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
wanna check
contribute
on
for
my
5
calculator.
years.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like,
You're right. You're right.
Four
It's good.
times
Yeah.
oh, 40.
We got this.
Yeah. So those are the accounts. And then, okay, let's say you're like, I'm going to open all the accounts. I guess you'll have to
Yes.
put a bit to, like, open them all.
You can open them all,
But
you don't have to actually
You don't have to.
contribute right away.
Yeah.
to all
Just
of
have them there so that your homework is done and
Yeah.
you, like, get, like, as you're opening them, you're learning about them yourself.
Yes.
Use ChatGPT.
Yes.
Like, literally.
Yes.
What's a prompt they can put in? I am opening savings account, registered and non-registered, in Canada, in this province.
I'm this age. I have this much money. I
Yeah.
want to start investing. I'm thinking about these accounts.
Help me.
What would be the first account? How much would you put in each account to start?
Okay. And then if you were to prioritize one,
I think it
Prob-
depends on your income.
right.
I often say if you're not making a big income yet,
Yes.
you may want to prioritize TFSA
Yeah.
first.
Because then,
But FHSA is, I mean, if you don't have a first home, for sure FHSA as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
And you could do like a bit, I actually have this conversation with my employees sometimes
Yeah,
because they're asking me these questions and
for sure.
yeah, you could do a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
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 Because the RSP and the FHSA reduces your tax, so that in itself gives you a benefit. And then
That's
you
it.
could, if you get a refund, you could put the refund in your TFSA.
And then, yeah. And it's great to also put into FHSA, and you can also defer that. So let's say you're not making that much money and you're still in a good, in a reasonable tax bracket, and okay, in 2 years I'm going to be bumped up to this, I'm going to pay more tax. You can defer it until then and like save that $8,000 a year to put towards the big year when you're like getting your big salary
Yes,
for the first
and I
time.
love that point too, because your RRSP room also accumulates.
Yes.
So, and if you don't know what your RRSP room is, you look on the last page of your notice of assessment.
Okay.
So you file your tax return, you get a notice of assessment. On that last page, it says your unused RRSP contribution room is X. So you can not use it, and then again, when you have a big income year, or you get a raise, higher salary, then you can make a bigger RSP contribution.
Yeah, so it's good to be set up now so that like...
And just continue to ask questions.
Yes.
That's how you learn.
Okay, I didn't make this like PSA, but like, let's say you are listening to this podcast and you're like, I know all of this already. Just know you are very lucky, and be grateful that you had that education, you have some financial literacy, because it is not a given and a lot of people do not know where to start. So
100%.
Just know like you're lucky and it's great, and share this with your group of people. You'd be surprised who needs this information.
Yes. Talk about it more, because everybody knows people who don't know, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's very impressive when I meet women who have an idea, are well set up. I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
I would say also that what's really astounded me since I started teaching is the massive spectrum of knowledge that people have. And that could mean that people think they know, but they don't really know. They don't think they know, but they do.
Okay.
And everything in between. So sometimes I have created videos where people have said, wow, that's so basic. Like, you don't really need to be saying things that are so basic. While at the exact same time, other people will say to me, I love your videos. I don't understand a word you're saying. So to that point, like, just start wherever you are, because it isn't that hard to learn. One thing I love about entering my industry, like as a lateral move, somewhat later in life, is that I came from a place of not knowing and was able to learn quite easily, let's say. It really isn't as complicated as it's made to seem.
No.
So that's why I love helping more people understand.
That's why we love having you here. I love this. It's so good.
Me too.
Okay. So let's do a little like recap, checklist, what to do.
Okay.
Figure out the 4 important.
Yes. What you have, what you owe, what you earn, what you spend.
Okay. Step number 1.
And just, if you owe money, that increases what you're spending.
Yes.
Right?
It is an expense.
Yes. So I met a woman recently who was having so much trouble saving and investing because her interest payments on her debt, including a mortgage, including credit card, were so high that it was hard to save. So knowing those 4 things and kind of understanding their connection and how to optimize them, I mean, over time, just doing better, so useful.
Very useful. And then I would say, like, step number 2 is, if you do have debt or credit card or whatever it is, like, prioritize paying off that credit card.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you think of like a 20% interest rate on a credit card versus what we just said, like 8 to 10% is a powerful compounding tool when you grow money. And when you're paying interest on a credit card, it's working the same way if it's compound interest, but in the other direction.
Yes.
So the powerful effect of owing that high of a percentage of interest means that the amount that you owe is going to get bigger really quickly if you're not actively paying it down.
Yeah. So I guess that would be like step 2.
Step 2
is action plan to pay that off.
Yes.
And then once, let's say now we're at 0 or we have money in the bank, is start investing and go to the bank and ask all the questions.
Ask all the questions.
Go to the bank, open your accounts.
And you can even secretly start to invest before you're like at completely 0.
Okay. Tell us how.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you could.
It's just so that you kind of get the feel. I mean, it depends on your specific circumstances. You need to have a plan.
Like,
But
okay, I hear you.
yeah,
If your plan is to pay off X amount on the thing and then invest X
yeah,
amount.
like maybe you're putting a little bit in your investments, but you're concentrating on paying off debt. Anyhow,
It
you
is
don't
a
have
great habit to start.
Yes.
Whenever you could start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to normalize women asking questions and either working with someone who you're comfortable with, who you can ask questions to, or developing some kind of support if you're going to try to do it on your own.
Right.
Because it is really intimidating.
It is.
Like the hardest thing about investing isn't investing. It's all of our feelings about money and how kind of scary and intimidating dealing with it is. So whatever tool you could find, whatever system or trick you could use to just like take baby steps, talk to someone who makes it seem, watch this,
Yeah.
listen
Watch
to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just like get interested a little bit because it'll change your life.
It really will.
Yeah, that's what Powership. We created Powership as our way of trying to normalize this conversation. And I don't teach investing as part of Powership, but we have all the conversations that surround money and our emotions that make it way harder than it should be to thrive financially. So you could follow Powership.
Yeah. Follow Powership. Okay. Now let's talk a bit about like why is everything so expensive? We're talking about money.
Yeah.
So, and like spending money is like is the big
Yes, one of the things that I also really just wish for people is that they stop thinking of money as something that is just to spend. Like so many of our thoughts around money have to do with consumption and materialism. I have a friend who says that she always looks at the world as people trying to separate her from her money. You know, like instead of giving into the marketing and the influences that exist everywhere to buy and to spend and to have, you know, one key way to think about it is, would I buy this thing if no one could see?
Okay.
Right?
Yes,
like
totally.
try to understand why you're buying what you're buying.
Yeah.
And once you are saving and investing, I think it can be super useful to understand the opportunity cost of the money.
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing anything but spending or paying off credit cards, for example, then you don't see the growth, like the building. You don't get the dopamine from...
It is thrilling.
Yeah, it really, like,
Yeah.
once you have an investment account and you see it, it is totally a hit of dopamine.
Yeah.
So you could kind of replace some dopamine with, you know, other types of
growth.
use of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to like, okay, birthday money, like I'm talking about like when I was in high school. It's like, okay, birthday money,
I could do
family
whatever
gives you some money and like you're, you know, and like whatever, $100, $50. And it's like, well, like what did I really need to buy at 14 years old? Like, why did I buy a Michael Kors clunky bag? Like, why? Like, you know, like I could, like the idea was to invest it, you know, use this money wisely, whatever it was.
Well, sometimes people have mental accounting, which is one of our biases when it comes to, well, life, but money for sure. And what it does is it sometimes says to us like, okay, well, the money I got from my birthday was just like bonus.
Right.
It's like a little windfall. I didn't expect it. I didn't work hard for it. So I could just spend it on something that doesn't feel that important.
Like Monopoly money.
Yeah. But actually money is money.
All
so
money.
It doesn't matter where you get it. And you can always just invest it.
Yeah, always.
But if there are things that you really want that will bring you joy, then it's worth spending money on that too. They say Arthur Brooks, I don't know if you know Arthur Brooks, but he's like a happiness expert.
No, I don't, but
and he
I will look
talks
into
about,
him.
look him up.
Yeah.
He talks about the 5 ways to use money.
Okay.
4 of which bring happiness. So you can use money to buy time.
Yes.
Right? Like for convenience, efficiency. That brings happiness. You can use money to buy experiences with friends. That brings happiness. You can give it away, create an impact, do good in the world. That brings happiness. And saving and investing brings happiness. The only one that doesn't is buying things.
Just to have.
Just to have.
To show.
Except that we're programmed to want to do that. So it does take a concerted effort and intentional thinking around our spending. And sometimes just tricks.
Yeah.
You know, online makes it super easy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oof.
So you could put it in the basket, but like wait a day, you know, like
Yeah.
not
Sometimes
do
the thrill is just like shopping and browsing.
and then close the
Yeah.
screen.
Clear history.
Yeah.
Don't even save the cart.
And then if you're thinking about it the next day or the next week,
Yes.
then it means you probably
Yeah.
really want it.
Yeah.
So get it.
So a lot about spending money is about like your mindset and like habits. So it's like, it's hard to kick those bad habits if you are going to get a coffee every single day. It adds up. If it does bring you a lot of happiness, then that could be justified.
Yes.
I'm not saying stop buying coffee. I love going out for coffee. I have good coffee at home, but sometimes like on the weekend, it's like it's a social moment. It's fun. I go with a friend. Like I love it. But I'll limit it to the weekend. Let's say.
One of my employees recently said to me, "I'm making my lunch now."
Oh.
For example.
Yes.
He was like, because I was going to buy my lunch, whatever, downstairs every day, and it's expensive. And 100% it adds up, which means like, don't not do it, but choose when you do it.
Yeah.
Just don't spend without thinking. I think that's part of it. Like if you're already in a habit where it's not necessarily bringing you joy, but you're just not, you're not questioning it. You're not choosing it. Then maybe don't do it. See how that feels. And it's like always about testing too.
Yeah. Bringing lunch is a very good one.
Yeah.
Cause like, yes, going out, if you're like working like downtown or even like here at Royal Mount, it's like, it will add up.
Yes.
And I was like, I bring a lunch every single day because the second I start going, like if I go say, oh, I don't have a lunch, I'm going to go to Fufu and get a lunch. It's going to be so good. And like, I'm going to love it. And it's going to become a habit. Like,
yeah. And I go out for lunch if I'm meeting someone.
Yeah, me too.
Right. And we're having lunch. Sure.
Yeah.
Right. But I actually do it because I don't even want to use the mental energy. Like for me, money is an important resource. So is time and mental energy.
Yeah.
So I'm consistently trying to manage how I use all of those things.
Yeah.
Because they're really limited resources that I value tremendously.
Yes. So yeah, food, Uber Eats, DoorDash, all that is like, that's also like, do not get into the habit of that. It
really, like, it's very easy to get in the habit of it. And then you'll say, where has my money gone?
It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
What's something you do not like spending money on?
Well, truthfully, I find most people love going out for dinner.
Okay.
I am not someone who loves going out for
dinner. Are you a great cook?
No.
Oh.
I love homemade food, but I don't cook.
Okay.
So. But I just like, I love experiences with friends. I love seeing friends. But sitting at a restaurant for me, like I'm happy to do it, but it isn't, it's not my number one.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that adds up.
And that adds up too.
I love going for dinner.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
But it's like, again, you also have to learn to say no.
Yes.
And like, you don't need to have a reason, just say no. And if your reason is because you already went for dinner twice, I'm talking about myself. Like, if I already went for dinner twice with friends and they're going out on Thursday, like, I'm not going to go. It adds up. I'm also tired. Friday's an important day of the week for me at work. Like, I don't want to have like one too many martinis and be slow. Like, I have to say no.
Yeah, I'm also an early morning person.
Yeah.
And I really value my sleep. I saw your Oura ring.
Yeah.
And so it's like a combination of choices, right?
Yeah.
And I think that it is a great idea to have a variety of ways that we spend time with our friends. Yeah. And not just go to like the most obvious, which can be going out for dinner or going out at night. Is that people might be doing them, but what's happening that we're not seeing, which is what's going on in people's savings accounts and their investment accounts, and they're building for their longer term self, their future self, because you look around, you don't know if people are in a lot of debt, right? Which is a painful thing.
Yeah,
whether you
it
can
causes
see
discomfort.
It or not.
Like, you don't want to be in that position.
And one day, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So the sooner that you give yourself peace of mind in terms of your choices,
Yeah.
that they're aligned with your values. That's another big one, knowing what our values are, because not everyone has the same values. And it's not that easy to actually uncover what your own values are, and they can change over time. So trying to get a sense of what's important to you. And if you really listen to yourself, I think you can feel it. And then making your decisions in alignment with those values, including your financial decisions, it's just a great habit to start as early as possible.
Yeah, like money ties into everything
Yeah,
in your life.
well-being.
Your well-being. Yeah, that's a very good point. And
it's really hard. It's legitimately hard.
Yeah.
Because it is limited, and we're all in different situations. And I think, like, to the point of the seasons of weddings and bachelorettes, like, it's nice to be cognizant of people's financial situations, but you do have to be honest with yourself and your friends, hopefully, about what's possible.
That's it. Yeah, honesty is key.
Doesn't mean you're a worse friend.
No.
And of course, everyone wants to go.
Yeah. Anyway.
And that continues forever, right? Like.
Yeah. It is, like, very liberating to say no.
Yeah.
It's, like, a great feeling.
Yeah.
Especially as, like, if you're always, like, doing it and going and.
No, pleasing others and making decisions that aren't in your own best interest will hurt.
That's a whole other topic.
I know, it's a big one.
Man.
It's a big one, but it's all linked.
Yes, it is.
It's all linked.
Yeah. And I feel like this ties back to, like, when you introduced yourself and your career path and change in your career path. Like, it goes back to trust and trusting yourself. And, like, I think knowledge and experience over time is what creates that, like, deep sense of trust where you can actually, like, listen to your gut.
Lauren, I just literally, on the Powership podcast, I just had this conversation with someone who said, learning to trust yourself, and you're in your 20s, right?
Yeah.
Learning to trust yourself this early in your life is going to make the rest so much better, because I'm in my 40s, and in your 40s, it kind of ends up happening a little more easily because for a whole host of reasons. But the earlier you start, the more liberated you'll be, and the better a path you'll be, because your voice is there. You have an inner voice.
That's it.
And we all deserve to trust ourselves. So it's a really, really powerful thing, and ultimately will help you in your friendships. It will help you in all of your relationships and financially.
Yay.
Yay.
Trust. Building the trust.
I think anytime you're doing something by rote habit, question it.
Yeah.
Or try to take a little risk in doing it or not doing it. Anytime you're doing something just because other people are doing it, maybe don't.
Yeah.
Or ask yourself if you want to.
Yeah.
Just make sure that your decisions around money are giving you, there's some kind of return for yourself if you're spending it. Joy, quality time with friends, valuable experiences, saved time, like we said. So there are really good reasons to spend money, and make sure that when you're spending it, it's for good reasons.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. And also, like, as girls, there's so much money on nails, hair. Like, I have to get into this.
Are we going there?
Eyebrows, waxing, laser, workout, Pilates.
Yeah.
Pilates outfits.
It's
like, what?
Totally endless. Like, when you compare it to men, it's, like, ridiculous.
Unless they're, like, I don't know, like, cars. Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you can't really. But, like, no, guys is like, hey, they get a little haircut once every few weeks.
Yeah. And the fact that we don't even feel like we're choosing them, like we have to, that's also really, like, it's strange. So I stopped doing my nails.
Me too.
You did?
I stopped. I'm done. I'm over it.
Me too. Because, I mean, financially fine, yes. Time. Yeah. The biggest thing is time.
Yes.
The time it takes, I mean, all of it. And it doesn't give me joy. I have friends who love it. They really enjoy it. It's one of the things. It's just part of their, like, it gives them positive feelings. It doesn't give me positive feelings. It causes me stress.
Me too. I'm like antsy. I'm like,
Me too.
"Oh, you're not doing it good."
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm multitasking. I'm like, oh, sorry, yeah. But
Yeah.
so I decided, let go.
Yeah.
And that is very empowering.
Yes.
And yet at the same time, there's still, like, you look around the world and most women, and I compliment other people's nails.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
Me too. Like long nails. Like I always had like short, whatever,
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
I did start doing my own nails.
Yeah.
And great for the money. The time, not so much because it does take me time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very like meditative. I watch my show. Like I can like do like a million things at once.
Mm-hmm.
I like put a hair mask in, face mask, nails, watch my show. Like I check off
If
like
I could do
10
my
things
own
at once.
nails, I might. I've never, like, done them well.
Okay.
So I...
It is very fun to learn to do.
Yeah.
If you, anyways.
Okay, well, we can get together.
You can just paint our nails.
Yeah.
Should have brought it here.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really good one. And
it's also a great way. Let's say there's a month and like you're spending a lot and like you know there's a lot going on. Like all of these little things are very easy to just not do that month and save very easily. Like just skip your mani, get them removed, don't get them painted. That's $5 instead of $50, $100, whatever.
I even found when I would do them and then they would chip or like, my partner at work once said to me, Lindsay, like, you can't have, like, it's either perfect or don't have it.
I so agree.
Because the in-between is unprofessional looking.
Yes.
Like, it's you're
yucky.
More harm than good.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So that's stress too.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's never going to be a priority.
No.
But yes, but so all these things add up. So depending on what the things you do for beauty, I think, again, kind of going back to them and asking yourself questions as opposed to feeling like you automatically need to keep up with all the stuff because it's really endless.
It is. There's
Besides the fact of how much time it takes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but that's like huge. That's huge.
Yeah. And learn to do things on your own. I learned to thread my mustache myself.
Good for you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm hairy. I'm Lebanese and Italian. I'm like very hairy.
That's an amazing mix. Yeah.
But I'm a hairy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But you don't look it.
Because I taught myself. It's the time to go to do my brows and like whatever.
Yes.
And
Yeah, because even if it's a short appointment,
you still have to drive there and pay for parking and go in and tip and chit chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or hair. I mean,
your hair is gorgeous.
But it's curly, so I'm like, I always do it on my own.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you mastered your curls though.
Thank you. It took a long time.
Yeah, I know. Stunning.
Thank you. But also, like, I like working out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love physical activity. It's like a wonderful force in my life for all the kinds of reasons. And so my hair's wet a lot of the time. And getting ready needs to be really simple.
Yep.
And efficient. So that's a big one. It's a very big one.
Yeah. I feel like all these, like, beauty treatments and all these things that, like, we're all, like, you know, stacking onto our routines, like, we don't need them. Like, I think take a step back. Like, what do you actually need?
Yeah.
Like, low maintenance is kind of, I feel like it's also trending.
Yeah.
Like, I've been seeing, like, on Pinterest and stuff, like, the no nail polish nails, just, like, really nice, clean cuticles, moisturized hands.
I love that.
Trending.
Yes.
So I hope it is, making a comeback.
Yeah, I have to say that I try to impart it to my daughters, like, as much as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You have 2 daughters?
I have 3 kids,
Wow.
2 daughters, yeah.
Cute. How old are they?
11 and 7.
Oh.
And they're already interested in more skincare than me.
For sure. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And also beauty and makeup product.
Yes.
And that's why we started Sona, is like to really just democratize like great beauty products and like make them accessible.
100%.
But also make them cool. Like just because they're priced lower than like products you'll find at Sephora doesn't mean they're worse. Doesn't mean you don't get anything or a good feeling from it. Like, no. We all deserve good stuff for not so much.
Absolutely.
So if you have, I'm talking to the audience because I feel like we can go on for like so long on like how to save money.
We can. Because
saving money is very important.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, tips, tricks, what you guys do. Like, what do you do to save money? What's your favorite lunch to bring to work that's easy to make?
Yes.
Like we want
What's
to
your
know.
favorite activity with friends?
Yes.
Right? That doesn't cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Going for a walk's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
I love going for walks
Me
with
too.
my friends.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but seriously, like we want to know your creative little hacks.
Totally. Or
Okay.
if there's tricks to like budgeting or investing that we
Yes.
haven't talked about.
Yes. I
I'd
love it.
I'd
This needs
love
to be an
know.
open conversation.
Yes. And have it with your friends.
Yeah.
Have it with your siblings. Have it with your parents. Like
Mhm.
we need to open up these conversations as widely as we can because we can learn from everyone and we can help other people
Yes.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love this.
Me too.
Ultimately, I hope that this wasn't scary. If anything, it's empowering,
Yes.
and it shouldn't ever be scary. And if it is, just know that you're not the only one feeling that way. Like,
And
it
also
starts somewhere.
fear is a part of life.
Yes.
And even if it's scary, it doesn't mean you don't need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to do it. And I say, like, my daughter just started playing on the soccer team where the girls are much older than her, and she was so scared. And I was basically saying to her, it's okay to be scared.
Yeah.
It's okay. I do things that scare me all the time. And the sooner you can get used to doing things that scare you, the better off you'll be. Because life is full of scary, uncomfortable things.
Yes.
Money is one of them.
Yeah.
But the more you approach it and the more you interact with it, the less scary it is, and the more it becomes a tool that you're comfortable with and that you feel empowered by. I have clients who started off knowing nothing, men and women,
Mm-hmm.
and I have watched over the years as we work together them get so comfortable with what they have, with their investments, with their ways of saving or using their money, and it's in part having these conversations about what's important to them and what risk level they can handle and saying things that they might be scared to say or feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable saying, but in a safe space. And we all need to carve out these safe spaces.
That is very important.
And not try to wait to do it perfectly. I feel like as women, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Perfectionism is very common and it manifests in all kinds of different ways. And one thing that it can do is prevent us from dealing with our life
Mm-hmm.
because we're waiting for some version of perfection, which may never come, will likely not come.
No.
So we're going to create the best thing we can and never expect for it to be perfect. In fact, making mistakes, failing, although I often think if we're continuing to try, like we haven't actually failed, but making mistakes along the way is how you learn, and it's part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be totally comfortable that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And really the best thing you can do. And that's why the sooner you start, the better, is because like with little experience, it will accumulate. And before you know it, you'll be teaching other people.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That really is the goal.
Yeah. Continue this conversation
Yeah.
and send in questions.
Yes.
You'll let me know if there are
Yeah.
any.
Yeah. We won't give advice, but we'll just,
Yeah, none of this is advice,
yeah,
but
again,
we're happy to
disclaimer.
do Q&A with information.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy.
Me too.
This was great.
Yeah.
I think this is awesome. So
Thank you so much.
thank you for coming on.
Really fun.
Yes.
And we'll continue the conversation.
We definitely will. So this was Lindsay Hollinger, and make sure to follow. Do you want to give a little shout out?
Sure. You can follow Powership Collective.
Yeah.
Powership Collective is actually a new brand that we created from this event that I have now done twice. The third one's coming up October 13th.
Okay.
It's called the Women's Powership Symposium. And it's an afternoon where I have panels with panelists in all different really important areas, like our relationships, our mental health, our physical health. And we talk about everything in a really like wonderful way and as it relates to money.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't money directly, but it really helps us kind of get comfortable in these conversations. And from that, we thought a podcast would be a great idea. And so we created Powership Collective, which includes the podcast and the event. The website just went live.
Amazing timing.
And yeah, I feel like we're really
Yeah.
aligned in what we're trying to do,
Yeah.
which is
I love
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tune in, guys, for next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Sona Says. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your tips and tricks. We want to hear all your questions.
Yeah.
And let's open this conversation. And this is very important. If you enjoyed this, share it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great first step to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's spread it around.
Yeah.
Make
Great.
more women have power.
Yes. Because money is power.
It is.
All right. Good.